Yes, Mr. Chairman of the conference and of the scientific committee of this conference, ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, dear colleagues. On behalf of École nationale d'ingénieurs de Tunis, I would like to express my very warm welcome to all of you, in particular all the speakers and guests which came to Tunisia for this conference. Let me first make a short presentation of ENIT, École nationale d'ingénieurs de Tunis, which is the oldest technical engineering school in Tunisia. It's now it's 43 years old school, and it is probably the best ranked school now in Tunisia since few years. It's the best ranked because it's the choice of the students, but because of its age, but also because of its activity. It's a school which has now cohorts of around 600 students every year. And it covers different engineering programs. Now, this year we are running 9 different engineering programs. But the school also has very strong research activity. Now, our school has 10 research laboratories and 7 research structures which are a bit smaller, which we call research units. And Laboratoire d'Hydraulique et Environnement is one of these, one of the oldest research laboratories, but also is one of the most active laboratories in the school. The school is also very well ranked because of its research activity and collaboration with international laboratories and mainly European and North American laboratories. Now we have a very good doctoral school, which is we have around 1,200 students which are enrolled in the doctoral laboratory. 700 among them are in master programs, and then 500 are in PhD programs. And then, of course, 500 are not full-time PhD students, because in Tunisia we don't have yet a system which gives scholarships and grants for the students. So most of them are working half-time and then working on their PhD half-time. What is very important is that among those 500 students, around 200 are enrolled on a double tutoring program, means that they are enrolled in ENIT, but enrolled also in another institution in Europe or in the States or in North America in general. And this is very important for the exchange and for the dynamic of the research activity in school, because this makes a lot of exchange between laboratories of the school and different laboratories around the world. And of course it catalyzes also exchange programs and exchange activities and joint research activities. And ENIT do graduate every year around 500 students. All of those students have to to develop an engineering graduation project, mainly in companies. And those students, 10% of those students also go for this engineering graduation project somewhere in the world. So it's around 10% of the students who are somewhere abroad, and this is also a very good indicator for the school as exchange and international experience. So this is very quickly, a brief presentation of the school, and I will be very happy to welcome all of you, or some of you, if your time allow this, to visit the school and share with us some of our activities, and then see how things are going there. Today it's an honor for me to share with you the opening ceremony of this conference on statistical methods for hydrology and water resources management. Laboratory of Hydraulics is one of the partners in the organization of this meeting, but of course it's supported by the International Commission on Water Resources Management and the International Commission on Surface Water, the Italian Society for Hydraulics, and the Gruppo Italiano di Idraulica. I would like to thank all of them for this initiative and then for having chosen Tunisia as meeting place for this workshop and for this meeting. It's through the internet. I have seen that it's the third session of this workshop, but I have seen also that it was very active and. People did present a lot of papers, 20 oral papers and 40 posters are going to be presented here, and this shows that really it's a very important event, and it's a wonderful moment for to host such a big number of scientists in this field here in Tunisia. Yes. This workshop is probably the occasion to share research results and the most relevant state of art of the findings in the fields of hydrology, applied statistics for hydrology and water resources management. It's the occasion also probably to meet with some professionals, but unfortunately today I didn't see a lot of Tunisian professionals here in the room. And it would be a very good opportunity for them to share with you, because hydrology and water issues are a big issue here in Tunisia, and we need that the results of the scientific community can be applied for in the industrial field. But I think that the proceedings and the papers could help all those industrial people to benefit from the results of your work, and probably it will push them or encourage them in the future to come and participate to your forthcoming meeting. And finally, I don't like to be very long, and I just finished with a citation of an English philosopher who is Arnold Toynbee. He said that every human achievement is an answer to a challenge. And I think that you are working to answer to some of the greatest challenges, which are water management, flood assessment, and prediction of flood risk assessment. So in this, I would like to wish you a very successful work in this workshop. And I expect that you will find it's worthwhile to come to Tunisia, that you gain experience and exchange between all of you, and that you will have a fruitful discussion, and that you have the opportunity to make new friends and start new scientific collaboration. And I would like to wish you all a very good and successful workshop and a pleasant stay here in Tunisia. Thank you.
Is this microphone working? Yeah. Okay, so I'll use this. Well, Professor Boudin, Director of the National School of Engineering of the University of Tunis, and Emna Gargouri of the Local Organizing Committee, thank you so much for your words of welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure as President of the International Association of Hydrological Sciences to say a few words on behalf of the association. First of all, it's just wonderful to be in Tunisia. I remember coming with my wife a few years ago and had a very pleasant experience in Tunis and in the surrounding areas. And once again, I found the Tunisian people extremely welcoming. Thank you so much for your friendship, and thank you so much for hosting this event. Now, I'm particularly pleased to be here at this particular workshop. It is the third workshop of the STAHI group, and the second workshop since the creation Melbourne last year of the International Commission on Statistical Hydrology. It's the newest commission of our 10 international commissions within the association. And it's proving to be exceptionally dynamic. And this is what we like to see in our association. I want to particularly say thanks to Salvatore Grimaldi. He and the other officers in his commission, but especially perhaps Salvatore, have given a tremendous push to the association in creating this new commission. Thank you so much. And I think that your commission is really kind of setting an example for the other commissions now. If you look at the websites of the commissions, you will find, if you go to statistical hydrology, you will find lists of important papers, data banks being set up, all sorts of interesting things happening, which is energizing both the commission itself, of course, and the whole association. And so thank you so much and well done in this effort. It's also extremely pleasing in this audience to see, of course, some old-timers, but many young people. And this is tremendously invigorating for the association. We need the young people. And I was talking to a few of them last night, and I particularly talked to Luciano Razzo here, and I believe you're celebrating your 30th birthday today. So many happy returns to you, and a big welcome to all your young colleagues, the contemporaries of your age, to the association. Now, we are living in a very exciting time for the association. Later this month, late October, we will celebrate the 90th birthday of the association. It's been going since 1922. And in Delft, in the Netherlands, we will be having a big commemoration at that time. Now, this year also marks the final year of a very important decade on prediction of in ungaged basins. And at Delft, which will be hosted at the Technical University of Delft by my good colleague Hubert Savanay, who will become president of IAHS next year, we will be holding a 2-day conference to bring PUB to a close. 2 major books are in process of being published, and this will be the closing of that decade, which has been extremely successful. Now, we're looking to the future as well. And in Delft, we will have a 1-day workshop, hosted really by my good friend here, Alberto Montanari, who has been working over the last year with a very energetic task force, mostly of young people, who are coming forward with ideas about what are the big science challenges for hydrology and water resource management in the coming decade. And hopefully at Delft we will be finalizing a plan for a decade starting in 2013, next year, at our next major assembly in Gothenburg, Sweden. And this will be hopefully as wonderful a decade of achievement for IHS as the previous decade. So we're living in exciting times. So thanks to Salvatore, thanks to Alberto for your work, and I believe you'll be saying a little more about the future in a moment. I also want to pay tribute to Christoph Kudenek, who is our Secretary General, started just last year. I believe the youngest Secretary General ever, working alongside, I believe, the oldest President ever. There's a 30-year age gap there. And Christoph has been extremely vigorous as a Secretary General. I'm recognizing Henny Kollenbrander as a previous Secretary General, and then I followed on, and then Pierre Hubert. And, times are changing. And we benefit from the internet and from email and so on. But I believe, and I don't know whether Henny will agree with me on this, that actually the job of Secretary General is now more demanding than ever. It really is, because you have to answer straight away many questions on the spot. The workload is increasing. And Christophe Koudenek, who spent 3.5 years here in Tunisia some years ago, has very strong connections with you, is doing a very marvelous job. I also want to mention Dimitris Koutsayanis in the audience here, who is giving great vigour to the publishing of our Hydrological Sciences journal. Thank you so much, Dimitris. So these are examples of how important vigorous people are in an organisation. Particular thanks to them, particular thanks to all of you for being here. I know many of the older people in the audience. I want to have the pleasure of meeting as many of the younger people as possible in the next 2 days. And I wish you all success in your deliberations. Thank you very much.